If you've been following the channel for quite some time, you probably know that I use Timeline and Cinemachine a lot in my tutorials, my Unity Filmmaking course, and even my personal projects and projects I do for clients. I try my best to create tools and tutorials to make all of this much easier. And today, I'm really excited to release my 5th tool on the Unity Asset Store. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, this is Omar Bofaki, and welcome to my filmmaking and game development channel. And today I'm really excited to show you the latest tool that I've been working on. It's OB Timeline Plus. Let's start. So this time I tried to separate the tool into two different panels. If you go to Window, OB Tools, and then Timeline Plus, you will see two panels here, Manager and Tools. The Manager is the one we see here on the right side, and then the Tools, which is here. Of course, you can control how you want it, whether vertically or horizontally, and I prefer the vertical one, so I'm just gonna place it here vertically, and here we have the timeline. Let's take a look at it. The timeline manager is straightforward for the timeline externally. So for instance, you can create a new timeline with a click, new timeline, and you have it created, create a new object, and then a new playable created in the assets folder. And then we have the duplicate timeline. So we have this timeline and we have all of these characters just jumping with a little bit of animation in the camera. Let's say we want to start modifying this timeline, but we don't want to ruin the current one. We just want to create a duplicate and keep this one as a backup. Usually duplicating the timeline would lose all of these bindings. If I duplicate the timeline now, the character's timeline, I duplicate it, and then I select the timeline we have and duplicate that one too, and reassign it, I would lose all the bindings on the left and I have to assign them manually. So let's just undo all of this. Select the character's timeline here and click duplicate. Let's go to a new folder and I'm just going to name it jumping duplicate. Now it has duplicated the game object and it has duplicated the playable asset, which is here, a new asset that is independent from the other one, but it also has copied the bindings of the same objects without losing track of any of them. So now let's start playing around with this timeline. And before getting into that, we have the third feature of the timeline manager, which is the more you work with timelines, the harder it gets to select and navigate through the different timelines. Just click refresh and you will see all the active timelines in the scene. We have the game object name and then the asset name, and then the FPS. We just select them to navigate through them. So let's go to the duplicated one, which is, the game object name is characters clone, but the timeline asset, it's actually called jumping duplicate. So I'm going to select that one and just lock the timeline so we don't lose it once we click anything else. Alright, so let's take a look at the timeline tools now. Let's say we want to move them around. You can easily just drag and drop them anywhere you want. But also we have these to start or end from the playhead with the shortcut Shift and square brackets, either open or close brackets, to select where you want them to start or end. But usually there is an issue. Let's say we have them just shuffled like this, different beginnings for each of these clips. Then I cannot just drag them all the way to the back, or what if I want all of them to start from this specific frame? It would be hard to modify them one by one. So now once I click this, it will modify all of them. And likewise, if I wanted to end them at this frame, it will just move them. And then here we have the stretching part. So if I end it here, it will just stretch it, or I can even stretch it from the beginning. But of course here it says hold because it's a one-time animation. But if you have a loop animation, it will just continue walking around until the clip finishes. And also for these two, we have another shortcut, which is Alt and then close or open square brackets, and it will do that for you. After this, we have markers, but we'll use it in just a moment. I'm just gonna jump into the stagger effect. So the staggering effect would break the symmetry that we have here in this animation. So here they're all jumping at the same time, but we just want to break this symmetry. What if you want to add an offset between each animation and the other? here where staggering comes. You can specify the gap between each animation or the offset in seconds or frames. So let's say we want to have 0.5 seconds between each of these animations. And you can go anywhere you want or from the start, let's say from here, and then hit stagger. Now if you hit play, you will see them one by one jumping off. What if we want to make the gap even closer? So I'm going to start even from the beginning this time, and we'll go with 0.2 seconds. Cool. You can also start from the bottom to reverse the order of this. And also we can make it shorter than this, and look what we have. A fun pattern. What if you want to break the symmetry or the harmony in this jump to make it even more random? Well, we can just use the shuffled staggering, and it will just have a random order. So if you click on it, you'll see they're all shuffled differently. And if you hit play, you'll see they're all jumping in different order. And now let's take a look at the markers. At the moment, we just have music playing, a soundtrack. Let's say we want to time the cuts of the cameras according to some of the beats of this soundtrack. So let's drag the cameras. I'm just going to lock the timeline, and I'm going to disable this camera and select all of these cameras, and I'm just going to drag them here as an activation track. So of course we can do the staggering thing again with like 1 second apart. But what if you want to go even more specific to certain parts of the music? We have the markers, which is basically creating a signal to the track. Normally you would show the track and then right click, add signal emitter. It's really a long process, but for now, click it here, or even better, the shortcut Alt S, and it will just create a marker for us. So let's hit play and just add a marker every time we want to have a camera cut. First thing, we need a first cut at the beginning. So I think we have enough of signals or markers. Let's select all of these now and then click the magic button to move the selected clips to the available markers at the top. So let's hit play and see what we have. Alright, this is so cool. And these tools work perfectly fine with any of the clips in the timeline. Even for the VFX control track, we can just select all of them and add some staggering effect. And look what do we have here. So that's pretty much it. I really hope that you liked it. Let me know if you have any feedback. I'm more than happy to listen to them and have a great conversation with you guys. If you get it now on the asset store, I think they're having a discount for the next 2 weeks of the release. Don't miss it out. And thank you so much for watching. This is Omar Bulfaki, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.